Hello everyone and welcome to MightyVids 1 True Crime. Today's video is a very sad story of how a pregnant mother who trusted her partner with her life and the lives of her children to have that trust betrayed in the worst possible way. This monster went on to commit multiple murders of the worst kind and the sickest acts of sexual deviancy. This story is shocking and is very distressing. Please be advised. Bendel met the mother of two, Terry Harris, in 2020 when she separated from her partner and he moved into her home in Killamarsh some time later. With Terry and her two children, John Paul Bennett, aged 13 at the time of his death, and Lacey Bennett, who was 11 at the time of her death. The murders did not stop with Terry and her children. You will see why later in this video. Bendel had issues with alcohol and drug use and had a lousy criminal record, mainly for violence, and served time in prison. Earlier in the year he was given a 17-month suspended sentence and was free to go and commit 4 murders and child rape. Something which the British legal system has gone on to be highly criticised for. Bendel should have been supervised more for his crimes, and his behaviour should have been assessed when coming to Terry and the children. Of September 2021 at Terry's house in Killamarsh, Derbyshire. Terry, who was 35, was now pregnant with Bendel's first child, and her 2 children had gone to bed. Also Lacey's friend, who had just happened that evening to be having a sleepover. 11-year-old Connie Gent had joined them in going to bed also. Damien Bendel remained downstairs taking cocaine and cannabis, and the exact time Bendel flipped and decided to kill everyone in the house with a claw hammer and rape a child was unknown. What is coming next is sickening and enough to make you sick to your stomach, but to Bendel that was not the case. Late evening of the 19th of September or in the early hours of the 20th of September. Bendel killed Terry Harris in the bedroom by beating her head and higher body with a claw hammer, and as she was dying from the head injuries went from room to room killing the children. All the victims was found with head and body injuries and also defense wounds. None of the victims stood a chance. Bendel was not stopping out of empathy or any other human emotion. Bendel had killed 11-year-old Lacey downstairs, where he raped her after the brutal attack. He went on to carry her upstairs, put her onto the bed and rape her again while her mother lay dying on the floor. He also used something to choke her with, which also added to her death. Morning of the 20th of September. Damien Bendel had taken the Xbox of the victim, John Paul Bennett, and went out to buy more drugs. Later Bendel had self-harmed and told his mother on the phone about his injuries, and his mother phoned the police to do a welfare check on Bendel. What the police was about to find would be the most shocking of their career, and Bendel seemed to be chuffed with himself later.
I don't know what happened. Alright, come to me. Mate, have you got anything on you that you shouldn't have? No, there's no weapons or nothing. Right,
do you just want them to do your coat? Have you armed yourself?
Yeah.
You have?
Have you stabbed yourself, mate?
I can see blood on your hands.
Yeah. Anywhere else?
Just my chest, 4 inches in with a bread knife.
Can we have a look?
Yeah, and one on the stomach. I bled quite.
Alright, do you want?
Yeah. Can we go down
No, just stay there.
I just don't want to be in front of her.
Alright, just go on the corner.
Just walking wounded at the minute.
Alright, stand here. Stay here.
Right.
So,
we told you, I know what's going to happen to you now, mate.
Well, I know what's going to happen when you go to prison, obviously, again.
Why? What have you done? Have you done something to anyone else?
Yeah.
What have you done?
I've murdered 4 people.
He's been calm and compliant, but he's got some stab wounds to his chest. They're not oozing blood, but he's saying that his family are inside and that he believes he has murdered them. Are you alright for me to go in? Damien, it's 07:47 hours. I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. Do not mention when questioned something later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Your arrest is necessary to protect you from harm, to prevent your disappearance, for a prompt and effective investigation. Okay? We're going to get you up, we're going to put you in the back of the van.
Police at first did not believe Bendel had killed 4 people by the calm manner he was acting in. When police officers searched the house, they found John's body first. He was lying on the bathroom floor naked as if he was ready to take a shower before Bendel attacked him. Then Terry was found on the floor of her bedroom, while Lacey was found on the bed. Connie was found in another bedroom. The officer's voice on the radio back to the control room was distressed and emotional as he informed them about each body. It was clear Bendel had hunted them, going from room to room. He was truly intent on killing everyone and not stopping till he had done so. 32-year-old Damien Bendel was arrested. He was full of himself about what he had done, saying to police officers, "I bet you never had murders like this in Killamarsh." Also rephrasing the police, saying it was 5 murders not 4 as Terry was pregnant. He later claimed to have a blackout and didn't remember what had happened till he saw Terry dead on the floor. At first Bendel admitted the killings but would only make a plea for manslaughter, which the Crown did not accept. In December 2022 he pleaded guilty to the murders of 35-year-old Terry Harris, 13-year-old John Paul Bennett, 11-year-old Lacey Bennett and 11-year-old Connie Gent. Also he pleaded guilty to the rape of Lacey Bennett. Damien Bendel was sentenced to a whole life tariff, meaning he will spend the rest of his life in prison. Later found that there was flaws with the probation service and other authorities about Damien Bendel's previous crimes and how he was allowed to go and commit his sickening crimes. Bendel was put on a curfew as well as the suspended sentence for arson, but Terry Harris was never asked if she agreed to Bendel being curfewed from her address. Also, Bendel had a history of domestic abuse with his ex-partner which seemed to be forgotten about, and he was never risked assessed with Terry and the children. The most shocking part was the police exploitation unit had contacted the probation service as they had evidence he posed a risk of sexual harm to girls. According to reports, this was overlooked when Bendel was in prison, as their main focus was watching Damien Bendel and monitoring his far-right extreme views as he was in a far-right gang in prison. He had admitted being a high-class drug user also and used to steal money of his ex-girlfriend and family to feed his drug habit. This information was never passed on to the correct authorities, and this along with everything else didn't make him a high risk to Terry and the children.